Okay, back at it again. So good news. After it ran for a little while yesterday, that noise that was right around in there, gone, totally gone. Um, just do a little update here. The only other bad thing was the temperature gauge wasn't working. It was not reading at all. Um, this, from what I can understand, is the one for the gauge, and I noticed. Well, obviously a lot of the part of it is broken. Um, but I noticed this plug was sticking out even more than it is now. I started pushing it back in, and I was like, wait, I need to clean it a little bit. So I got some uh, electronics cleaner. Push it back in there. Um, at some point, I am going to try to get a new, sorry, keep pointing the camera wrong, new pigtail for this to have the proper, so that it can lock into the sensor there. And this one is in need of one as well, along with this one. This one's even worse. It's worse than that one. This temperature sensor pigtails are just fine. But and I'd had a problem yesterday too with this isn't all factory obviously, but going into the bottom of the map sensor there, under there where the vacuum line plugs in, it kept pushing out. So I ended up having to shorten this piece of tube to get that fixed in there. And if y'all noticed yesterday too, stupid me, before I plugged all this in, I forgot to route this under there and through this little wire slash hose routing area. So I'll redo that eventually. And same with this side, except this side's a little bit more difficult. I knew it went under, so I went under this one, but I forgot that it was all the way back there. So I'm either going to try to tighten it up to this loom with some zip ties or something, but either way, that way it'll, whenever I put the plastic cover that goes over the loom here and over this, and that covers those two up, I can get that taken care of and looking sharper. I'm eventually going to try to get a new one of these, well, for both sides. Well, the other side's not bad. I could probably JB weld it, but this side, this piece in here is just almost completely loose. It's holding, but it's just not great. And I still, as you noticed, I still don't have my fan in. I don't know that I'm going to put it back in. I'm debating. Some people have taken it out and been fine. The main reason, oh, yep, and I got my little buddy Oreo helping me out here. Main reason is, and I'll get to that part in a minute. These fans, this outer part, is magnesium, and they are also no longer available from Mercedes. And even if they were, the ones that I saw that still had them in their inventory supposedly listed them for like $800, or maybe it was $400. It was a stupid amount of money for a fan. Supposedly the metal ones that came in, like the S500s, fit on there, but even the ones that I found there were still a few $100s. But the bad things with these is they can tend to crack, which they typically crack near the base where the blades attach to the round part there. However, on mine, let's see, where'd they go? Where did it go? Well, anyway, I did find on the base right there, that crack. It doesn't appear to go very far, but it's there. So that was what I just recently found. But there was also, good grief, where'd they go? This thing's so nasty. I'll point it out when I get to it. Oh yeah. So right there, so that right there is not cracking, that's just gunk. But that is a crack. and it shows through on a bit of focus on the back side as well, right there. And then there's another one that's kind of like right in the middle. Oh yeah, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Right there. Yeah, you can see it better on this side. So I've heard of people JB welding these things, and they hold. But the one that concerns me the most is, again, that one on the back. But again, it doesn't appear to be deep. But it's still there. So I don't know if I'm going to put it back in. Even if I do, which I haven't tried it, but apparently it's near impossible to get back in there with the radiator in place. And then you also still have to get the bolt in and have room to get it tightened. So I don't know. And these are the old intake boots, which you can see why I replaced them. They were very crudely repaired. I can't even squeeze them. Which there's a ring in there, I didn't notice that. But anyway, they're very, and I got a pretty good grip. And they're very, like, the end is okay. And then this one, as I was trying to get the hose clamp off, it just completely broke right there. That's the part that went to the throttle body. I purposely broke that off, but this part's where the not the throttle body, yeah, that's the throttle body, where the mass airflow sensor was. And looking at them, let's see, yeah, they both have the same part number, which is 120, 141, 1390. And let's see, oh, sorry, where we go. Same one here. 121, 1390. This one was on what for the Americans, for the U.S. cars on the driver's side, which covers bank 1, even though it's on this side. And it's the correct one. It's the right number for that side. This one, same part number, was on the U.S. passenger side, which covers bank 2. But the main reason it's broke right there is it's the wrong one. It's supposed to be 290 at the very end. And it's slightly shorter, so it fits in there a little bit better, and it's not as squished as the last one was. So, and these are much more pliable. I mean, you can see I can squish them around just like that. And that one has came off, which would make sense as to why it was running rough yesterday. Maybe that's the only reason. Because it's like, whoa, how did that come off? I'll have to take that whole thing off again. Okay, well, that might fix my problem, because I had a check engine light. That was the other thing I was going to address. Yeah, for some reason, despite the fact that those hose clamps are the exact same ones that were on those, and those fit on here fine, I had a hard time getting them on yesterday. And in fact, I had to basically completely loosen it, slide it on while holding the clamp in place, and then tighten it. So that gives me some hope that maybe that's all that the problem was, along with this little guy here. So I'll go ahead and shake you around and make you seasick a little bit, but just clean that off. And maybe if I'm lucky, and that's the only thing. I've got the other thing, which I can't remember if I addressed it or not, is, see how this just sits very loosely in here. I've got a new O-ring coming, 'Cause I think that's the majority of my mess on this side of the engine. I think you can see, I mean, there's gunk, which I know I should clean it up a little better. Heck, if I keep this thing long enough, I'd eventually like to just completely tear the motor down and just give it a good clean and replace anything that needs replacing. But, and then today, along with fixing that now, and hopefully getting that repaired, I am going to drain. I just had water in here, just to check for leaks, which I did not find any, thankfully. I was really worried there were going to be some on this thing where I put the new O-rings, or here where the everything met, but nothing has leaked, nothing new anyway. These are clean-ish under there, so that's good. So yeah, so I'll take all that mess, or empty all that out, and put the proper coolant and distilled water in there, which yes, there's going to be some hose water left in there, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and put 15 gallons of distilled water just to try to get all the regular water out. So there you go. In fact, let me check this, see how much was left. So yeah, it's still pretty full. So yeah, it doesn't appear to be leaking at all. Thank goodness. So, okay, so that's the thing for today. Oh, and I've also got the new pulley coming for the tensioner, because it was making a little bit of noise. Not you can hear while driving, but when I had the belt off and was spinning all the pulleys, it was making a little bit of a grinding noise. So is the smog pump, or air pump as they call it. I'm going to have to figure something out with that, because apparently the pulley does not just come by itself. So, in a reman, it's over $300. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. Thinking on that. But yeah, since it's winter time, I'm going to just leave that fan off. We'll kind of see how next spring, summer ends up. Good news though, after doing all that and cleaning everything out and rebuilding the duo valve, it has heat now, which we found that out the hard way last winter when it was really cold, and something was up with my Jeep. I couldn't drive that, so we jumped in this, and it would not defrost because it was not hot enough. But yesterday, sitting in there, it got nice and toasty. I had it on high to circulate all the water, and it felt good. And I've let this video go long, and I'm sorry. I'm going to end here. I'll come back with an update on getting that fixed and getting everything drained out, and we'll see what that check engine light is when I go by O'Reilly's to use the reader. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you care to, like and subscribe. I don't plan on being some influencer on YouTube or anything like that, but you know, I like to help people. If I can help people with this, if I don't know an answer, I'm not just gonna make something up and tell you, but we'll try to figure it out and get you the right answer. But, have a good day.